Hey, is that folk music there you play there? What is that? How do you call that folk music?
I think it was Studs Terkel who asked Big Bill Brunzi, did he consider his blues music to be folk music? And Big Bill says, well, never heard no horse.
Shoo bob shooby doo doo booby doo dow.
Bang! Hot dog!
Don't hesitate! It could be your ticket to a new tomorrow!
Yes. Very nice. We're here on Horse to Sing None of It, and my name is Ralph Litwin, the host of the show, and you were just listening to the classical guitar music of John Kizzie. Welcome to the show, John.
Thank you, Ralph.
It's a pleasure to have you. Now, John has saved us because somebody canceled out from this show slot, and a couple nights ago I was walking down the street in Morristown at the first night Morristown celebration, and there was John playing this beautiful music in the window of Goffin's card. What was that place?
It was Jodo's, I believe.
Jodo's gift shop, yes. And playing beautiful music and with amplified out on the street. And I thought it was great. So
They amplified it?
Yeah. Oh, you didn't know that?
No, I'm just joking. Okay.
Yes, we could hear it out there on the street.
Geez. Oh, okay.
And so I ran in and asked him if he'd like to be on the show, and he graciously consented. So, John, you come from Somerville? Are you?
By way of several states. I live in Somerville now. I've actually been there for about 10 years, but I've lived in Texas, New Mexico, Colorado, and now New Jersey. So I've kind of got to see a lot of America.
Yeah.
Playing classical guitar all along the way, so you pick up a lot of different things along the way.
Mm-hmm. Where did you grow up?
Most of my years were growing up in Texas. As a matter of fact, that's where I used to play electric guitar. before I switched over. And I guess I should whisper that because in some classical guitar circles it's kind of a no-no not to like be a purist. But I started on electric and heard a piece of music that made actually, once I heard it, it just kind of changed my whole guitar playing life. And I switched to classical guitar shortly after hearing it.
Wow.
It was like, this is the way the guitar is supposed to be played. And I've never gone back to jazz, except maybe on the classical, but always on classical since.
So it hit you like a thunderbolt, that piece of music.
Yeah, literally. It was the Concierto de Aranjuez by Joaquin Rodrigo. And literally, in the second movement, in concertos you have like your three movements, and in the second movement it's a wonderful, slow, kind of a stately march. And by the time the guitarist had finished playing that, I was literally sweating and shaking from just from how beautiful it was, and it was like it seized me, and has never let go. I have to look into that.
That's a beautiful story.
Yeah, it's quite riveting. Even now when I think about it.
Great. Well, you want to share another piece with us?
Sure. What I like to play now is called Romance. Sometimes you'll also see it called Romanza. It's a very popular Spanish guitar piece, and maybe one of the reasons it's so popular is because the composer is one of the most popular composers around, anonymous. So, a lot of people get to do things by anonymous. As a matter of fact, I've seen more things done by anonymous, more so than anyone else. So, I'll give Romanza a try.
Very good. All right. That'll put you in a trance, won't it?
Thank you. Yeah, it's a very popular one. As a matter of fact, I don't know if you were into movie lore, but there was a movie called Blood and Sand with Tyrone Power in it, in which the guitar player gets to play that several times throughout the movie, because again, it's about a guy's love of bullfighting, love of his own ego, and he's torn between two women, the woman that's nice and pure of heart, like the woman that's right for him, and the woman who loves him because of his power and his ego, and he of course makes the wrong choice, as many of us will want to do in life, goes to the wrong woman, and of course unfortunately is then left with the bull and blood and sand, etc., etc. So again, it's a very popular melody though.
That's very pretty. I understand why it's popular. I didn't mean to make short shrift of the first number that you did. We might want to mention what that was too.
Oh yes, that was Guardam las Vacas and variations. Guardam las Vacas basically means guarding the cows or watching over the cows. And it was written by Luis Nieves, and it's probably about maybe 350 years old or so. And it was originally just taken from a melody that the shepherds would, they'd take their guitar and they would sit and watch the either the sheep or the cows, and they would kind of quietly entertain themselves because, of course, there's nothing else to do unless the cows did an entertaining routine or something. And since they didn't have that, they kind of played just like simple melodies. And what I was playing was just a few variations on the original simple melody for guarding the cows, or Guardam las Vacas.
Very nice. All right, we're going to take a little break for a public service announcement, and we'll be back with John Kizzie on Horses Sing None of It. See you in a minute.
I forgot my hat today, but this way you can see that my head is so full of brains that it's growing out through my hair. So I was looking at this great chart made by the World Game Institute. It explains how much it would cost to fix all the ecological problems in the world and give everybody on the earth a decent standard of living. Going, whoa, whoa, this is cool, this is great. All we have to do is convince everybody on the planet that this is a good idea. We'll plan on it and things will be cool. So I figured, look, we really want to get this thing going, I better just go ahead and do it. So you want more information? Help me convince everybody in the world that this is a good idea? Send a self-addressed stamped envelope to World Game Plan, care of Ralph, 140 Morris Street, Morristown, New Jersey. Thanks a lot. Ah! Okay, let me see if I can work with that.
Very good.
Thank you. My name's Ralph Litwin. We're back on Horses Sing None of It. And that was a piece by Joseph Morley that was composed around the turn of the century and called Banjo Town, and I picked it because the classic style of banjo, which is not to say classical, was a style that was very popular from late 1800s up until about 1915, 1920, when Dixieland came in and took over, and it was this three-fingered style. Normally actually played on a silk and a gut-stringed or nylon-stringed banjo, which I forgot to bring with me, but I thought you would find that of interest.
Actually, I find it interesting too. I didn't know they had silk and gut string type banjos. That is interesting.
Yeah, in the early days before they had steel strings, they hadn't thought of it yet. They made them with gut. And then as later days, you know, they substituted nylon because it sounds like gut. So, same with guitar, actually. And there was a whole, it was a giant fad of composed music for the five-string banjo, a lot of it in the ragtime mode, and some pieces like this were more of a popular bent, I guess, or who knows.
And you said you have a gut?
I have a string, a banjo that's strung up as a nylon string banjo.
Oh, I see.
That comes from that, you know, that time period, turn of the century.
Oh, because I thought you said gut. I was wondering where you still got them from, but
I think actually you can get gut if you really want it, but it's so subject to humidity, you know, going out of tune, that nylon is much the preferred mode. And so we have John Kizzie with us, classical guitarist, and why don't you share another piece with us? What would you like to do?
I just want to check my tuning. Because for the next tune, which is called an Afro-Cuban lullaby, I have to change the tuning down to a D string on the sixth string as opposed to its normal tuning, which is an E, just to get a kind of an effect. Hopefully, if I play this properly, you can kind of hear a rocking or kind of a cradle rocking going on in the background underneath the melody. And this too is also by Anonymous. It's actually a traditional folk tone. Sung you know, like by Africans you know, like when they were living in the Caribbean during time of slavery, you know, like, and shortly after that time period. And actually, believe it or not, I've performed this before, and some people have actually recognized it. You know, so it's kind of interesting to play a folk melody and have people coming from the islands and they'll say, "Oh, I've heard that before. My mother used to sing it to me." So it's kind of special that way.
Great.